about the weather, other like phrases. Uh, so whenever they talk in the future with someone about the weather, they don't have to, to think so hard to, to remember because they have already, memorized many vocab about the weather. So this way they can do it. But, listening to someone talking about the weather and then thinking they can speak about it fluently, no, of course not. You need to, you need to write down, you need to memorize. Then in the future, when you talk about this with someone, wow, you think you will be able to speak about it like a native English speaker because you have all the phrases you want because you actually wrote it down, wrote everything you needed down. So this way I teach my students.
Mm,
So saying that listening to something or listening to the radio or watching the news is gonna like help me. Yeah, it could help, but for a slight extent, I guess. But it's not gonna make you a fluent speaker.
hmm. I do understand your concern, sir. But the thing is, like, wh- what should we have to do to um, make them understand that listening is like not that all. You wanted to improve. If you wanted to improve yourself, then you have to get yourself into it.
Yeah, they will
Like,
actually they will figure it out themselves because once they speak with a native English speaker or with someone about the same topic they have heard, they're gonna know for sure that they know they need to do something more. They need to learn seriously. They need to memorize, not only to listen. So they will figure it out by themselves by themselves. So it's about time. Time will tell actually that once they are in a situation where they have to speak English, they're gonna like uh, start stuttering and start thinking too hard about the vocab they want to use. So at the end of the conversation, they will say, "Oh, I wish I had done something to improve my English, not only listening to Irfan."
mm, okay, all right. This was really nice explanation from you.
Yeah, actually, it's like it's a fact because I think, and I have been to many situations where I say to myself, "Oh, I need to do more. I need to look for other,
Hmm.
resources, you
Hmm.
know, or other like other materials to learn from." Yeah, because we are not English native speakers, we keep learning forever because learning is a lifelong activity, and you can never say that I'm done with this. No, because every day there is a new word out there. There is something new you can learn. Even if you live in an English native, in an English speaking country with native English speakers around you, because I think if you wanna master a language, you need to live all levels of the language. By all levels, I mean you need to live as a child in that country, as a baby, as a child, as a kid, as a teenager, because every level or every step they have their own vocab, they have their own phrases. For instance, hide and seek. How many of you know the meaning of hide and seek? If an adult, travel to an English speaking country, he might never, hear this phrase, because, you know, I don't think he would play hide and seek with someone because he's an adult, right? So, uh, so, so I guess that you need to live all levels of the language to master it.
Hmm. Okay, I understand it. So,
Yeah,
yes, go ahead.
yeah. I just have something to add. I just said maybe when you're learning something, there is some latency for your learning effect. I mean, if you practice English for um 3 months, actually after 3 months you can not find your progress immediately, but after that, if you keep on practicing English every day, I think maybe more than 3 months or the 4 months or 6 months, you will find your progress. So I mean, what I want to say is that uh, keep up and stick to it is really important. And just if you find that the habit is right, what you're doing is right, that's just keep to it. Yeah, this is what I want to add. Please, go ahead, Irfan.
Nothing.
Hmm. Thank you. Um, I was just saying that I think, sir, please correct me if I'm wrong. I think language is the only thing we can adopt it. Like we cannot learn languages. We adopt languages, and as soon as we get ourselves into it, like whatever your desired language is. So, like that is the only way to improve ourselves in our desired language.
You know, can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so the thing that I would like to talk about is that some people think that reading or listening or is not good for speaking. They don't know that you can use the phrases, the vocab, and the way things were written in your speaking. You know, um, like whenever you're speaking to someone, you can use one of the sentences that you have uh, that you have just read in one of the books. So some people think, no, I don't need to read. I need only to speak to improve my English. But really, yesterday I was talking to an American lady. She was so educated. She was speaking about, different meanings of one word. I think it's called a synonym. So she was using highly advanced vocab for adjectives, for instance, for sad, blue. Instead of saying I'm sad, I'm down, I'm blue, and so she she says that if you use a variety of vocab, the listeners or the listener would appreciate you more, and they would actually like to listen to you more and more. So, how do we get this talent? How do we gain this knowledge? Only by reading classics, for instance, reading novels, reading So reading is actually underrated, I guess. Some people say or think that, oh, I don't need to read. I only need to speak. You can read, then speak, and you can use the things that you have been reading about. So it's also a good way.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for learn English. I have something to add. The thing is, if you want to improve your English reading and is a must because we can divide into learning into two parts. The first one is input. It is that we are reading things, we are reading things and we just take some input, right? We learn new knowledges, we learn the new phrases, and we pick up the phrasal verbs or words from the native speakers or the other people. This is the input. We learn something. The other is the output, just like we are practicing all the time. If we just if we don't do the input, just you don't learning something and you don't reading something, then you're not making progress. It's just like you can practice English all the time, but your knowledge keep the same because you don't get any new input. You just use the things you know, so you're not making progress. So the best way is every day you do certain input, just uh new vocabularies or new sentences or new English patterns, and then you do the output just like practice English here. So you combine both is I think equally important. So that is what I want to say. And also for the input, you must learn the things that you understand. We have the just like how to say that, just understandable input. If you learn something you you don't understand, it is just the noise. Just like you learn something about the physics you don't understand, even though it seems like you are learning, you are listening, but it is noise. You can't get it. So in terms of learning English, you should choose the materials that is relevant to your life. Just like the basic one you can learn as a kid, then you put what you have learned into practice. You can use the verbs or phrasal verbs you've learned and try to practice here to improve your muscle. Yeah, that is my take on this. Thank you.
Very well explained. Something. Do you have any question?